U.S. President Joe Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin have met in Geneva to affirm their positions and convince their allies of their firm intentions. Both countries have a knack for demonstrating their perceived might through their massive four-engined airplanes, which are some of the largest passenger aircraft in the world. Both have flown into Switzerland on their presidential planes, Boeing 747-200B series aircraft, Air Force One, and Ilyushin IL-96 300PU, Putin Force One, showcasing the best of their aviation industry. While it is impossible to say which aircraft is more impressive, it is possible to compare them by laying out the facts and allowing everyone to formulate their own opinion. Welcome back to The Wealthiest, where you will learn the ins and outs of the world's elite, how they live and how they spend their accumulated wealth. Let's get started. Ilyushin IL-96 300PU, Putin Force One. The Ilyushin Il-96, a Russian quad-jet airliner, is celebrating its 35th anniversary with a highly customized variant known as the IL-96 300PU. This aircraft, developed from the IL-86, features a glass cockpit, fly-by-wire controls, and enhanced wings with winglets. Despite not being a major competitor in the wide-body long-haul market, it became the aircraft of choice for the local government, with facilities such as a private office, various meeting and conference rooms, relaxation room, guest lounge, mini gym, large dining room, bar, and a medical unit equipped for emergency treatments. The IL-96 300PU employs numerous safety features to ensure the president and guests can travel and arrive safely. Multiple layers protect against potential attacks from air or ground. It is also fitted with an anti-aircraft air defense system, though details surrounding its onboard defense capabilities are kept secret. Another safety measure outside the aircraft is more visible. There are multiple copies of the Russian president's aircraft of choice, similar to global leaders having sets of identical cars. In case of an international visit, at least 2 of the 3 extra government IL-96 will be prepared, helping obscure which specific airliner the president and his guests board. Russia Beyond explains that the additional jets follow as reserves, dating back to a 1970s rule. The Ilyushin IL-96 300PU is a Russian presidential plane that has been used by 5 Russian presidents since 1996. It has advanced communication systems and missile countermeasures, and is similar to standard aircraft operated by Russia. The latest Ilyushin IL-96 300PU made its maiden flight just over 2 months ago. The aircraft features white fuselage, wings, tail, and a coat of arms, with interiors inspired by Russian art and birchwood furniture. However, controversy arose in 2007 when leaked pictures revealed lavish golden bathrooms and luxury areas for Putin's study, aides, and security personnel. Vladimir Putin flies on a modernized and heavily modified Ilyushin IL-96 300PU. The plane is a quad-jet long-haul wide-body airliner, that is to say a plane powered by 4 jet engines and boasting a fuselage wide enough to accommodate 2 passenger aisles with 7 or more seats abreast, designed by Ilyushin Aviation Complex and manufactured by the Voronezh Aircraft Production Association. The 4 jet engines powering the plane are produced by Russian engine manufacturer Aviadvigatel, Russian air developer, and are also used on the Tupolev Tu-204 and Tupolev Tu-214 series, 2 of the most common commercial planes in Russia and broadly similar to the Boeing 757. Designed in the mid-1980s, the Ilyushin IL-96 first flew in 1988 and was first introduced on a commercial route by Russian airline giant Aeroflot in December 1992. The commercial version of the presidential plane entered service the following year. Designed by Russian aircraft designer Sergei Ilyushin, aside from being a high-bypass turbofan engine designed for economy, the PS-90A also features integrated exhaust with exhaust mixer for better performance, acoustically treated exhaust duct to produce low noise, full authority digital engine control, FADEC, to perform at maximum efficiency during certain conditions, long service life based on-condition maintenance, and modular design for easy maintenance. The Ilyushin IL-96 airplane is divided into 3 major variants: IL-96 300, IL-96 MT, and IL-96-400. The IL-96-300, launched in 1985, entered service in 1993, accommodating 262 passengers and 12 flight attendants. The IL-96MT, launched in 1993, was discontinued in 2009. The IL-96-400, modeled on the IL-96MT fuselage, has a range of 10,000 kilometers and a passenger capacity of 436. The IL-96 is a modern version of the IL-86, featuring new turbofan engines, increased takeoff weight, wingspan, and fuel capacity. It features supercritical wings with winglets and a triplex fly-by-wire control system. The aircraft also has a flight management system, inertial and satellite navigation, and collision air avoidance system. LCDs on the aircraft display onboard operations information and piloting and navigation systems. The IL-96-300 is used in passenger airliner the IL-96M and freighter IL-96T, with fuselage stretched in both aircraft. The IL-96M is 15th heavier and has a range of 312 passengers. The aircraft also has a crew restroom with a galley, toilet, and beds. The IL-96-300 aircraft uses four two-shaft PS-90A turbofan engines with a thrust rating of 16,000 kf, 157 kN, 35E300 lbf, developed by Perm Motors Holding, Russia. The aircraft also includes an auxiliary power unit VSU-1002 from Baranov Manufacturing Union, Russia. The engine was certified in 1992 and complies with ICAO Stage 3 noise limits. The IL-96-400T uses an advanced PS-90A1 engine. All components play a crucial role in developing thrust, propelling the aircraft forward. The Ilyushin IL-96 is a modern Russian aircraft with avionics systems that comply with ICAO standards. It features a Collins digital avionics system, a 6-screen electronic flight instrument system, EFIS, a control panel, KPRTS-95M1 for communication and navigation, and a VSS-95-1V flight management system. The aircraft also has a terrain relief system, SRPBZ, and an air collision avoidance system, CAS-81A. The cost of US and Russian presidential planes is a significant difference. In the early 80s, American taxpayers paid $325 million for each VC-25, which is over $1 billion today. The VC-25 costs $210,877 per hour to operate, including constant upgrades and refurbishments. Putin's IL-96-300PU, introduced in 2021, has been estimated to cost between $70 million and $550 million. The higher estimate may be closer to the truth, but the real price is unknown. The new VC-25 will likely be more expensive than Putin's IL-96, and it will not feature golden decorations or antique tapestries in its interior. Franklin Roosevelt became the first acting president to take to the air in 1943, riding a Boeing 314 flying boat to a wartime conference in Casablanca. The Air Force assigned a military aircraft for presidential use, initially a C-87A Liberator Express, but later a C-54 Skymaster, nicknamed the Sacred Cow for Roosevelt. President Truman took over the Sacred Cow and replaced it with a modified DC-6, the Independence. Boeing 747-200B series aircraft, Air Force One, and the comparison. Air Force One is not a plane, but rather the radio call name for any U.S. Air Force plane carrying the president. The president is referred to as Air Force One by the crew and air traffic controllers to avoid confusion with other planes in the area. There are two planes that regularly fly under this designation: Boeing 747-200B jets and VC-25A, with tail numbers 28,000 and 29,000. Both planes have the same general structure and capabilities, with a height of almost 6 stories and a length of a city block. They have 4 General Electric CF6 80C2B1 jet engines, a top speed of between 630 and 700 miles per hour, and a ceiling maximum of 45 and 100 feet. Each plane carries 53,611 gallons of fuel and weighs 833,000 pounds. Full fully loaded for a long-range mission. Air Force One has 4,000 square feet of interior floor space, resembling a hotel or executive office. The plane's lowest level is cargo, with most passenger rooms on the middle level. The upper level is primarily for communications equipment. The president has onboard living quarters with his own bedroom. The staff meets in a large conference room. Air Force One, a symbol of the United States and the presidency, was used as a mobile bunker during the 9/11 attacks, demonstrating its versatility beyond its role as an executive jet. The jet's high-tech jumbo jet was a crucial tool during the attacks. Arguably, the Air Force One is the best-known aircraft ever. And while technically any U.S. Air Force aircraft carrying the country's president gets assigned the Air Force One call sign, everybody knows the Air Force One. The iconic Boeing VC-25, a deeply modified 747-200, which flies American presidents since the early 90s. The aircraft became an icon through scores of presidential visits all over the world, as well as its depictions in Hollywood films. Donald Trump's attempts to change the livery were met with harsh criticism, and it appears that American presidents are destined to travel with this iconic look for decades to come. There are two VC-25s in existence, and they always travel in pairs just in case there is a problem with one of them. The presidential seal on its door is a prominent part of every picture of the American head of state arriving in any country, as is the site of the monstrous airplane landing. The Russian counterpart is much less known, yet quite often gathers attention from aviation enthusiasts nonetheless. Following the American fashion, any aircraft carrying the Russian president is assigned a call sign, Plane Number 1. Normally, that aircraft belongs to the Special Flight Detachment, Rossiya, which is subservient to the Directorate of the President of the Russian Federation. The detachment has over 65 aircraft, from helicopters to business jets to long-range airliners, and is tasked with transporting Russian governmental officials. The crown jewels of its fleet are, of course, the 5 Ilyushin Il-96 300 Pu wide-body aircraft. The newest of them was introduced in April 2021, while the oldest one dates to the 90s. This did not always work, though. The plane became notorious due to its mechanical failures and broke down on numerous occasions. The livery of the Russian presidential aircraft, while not as iconic, is a piece of history too. Air Force One, a military aircraft, is equipped with unique features that make it a unique and efficient transportation option. The plane also has a staff doctor who travels with the president on every mission. The plane has retractable stairways for both the rear and front entrances, allowing crew members and staff to climb internal staircases to upper decks. Additionally, the plane has its own baggage loader, eliminating the need for airport facilities. The most remarkable feature of the plane is its extensive electronics, including 85 onboard telephones, computer connections, 19 televisions, and office equipment. The phone system is set up for secure lines, allowing the president and his staff to reach anyone in the world while cruising tens of thousands of feet in the air. The onboard electronics have about 238 miles of wiring, twice the amount found in a normal 747, and heavy shielding to protect the wiring and electronics from electromagnetic pulses associated with nuclear blasts. In-flight refueling allows Air Force One to stay in the air indefinitely, which could be crucial in an emergency situation. Despite being classified as military aircraft, Air Force One's advanced avionics and defenses are considered military aircraft, equipped with electronic countermeasures, ECM, to jam enemy radar and eject flares to throw heat-seeking missiles off course. Both the Boeing 747 and the Ilyushin Il-96 300 Pu are modern presidential aircraft, with the former dating back to the 1960s and the latter being based on the 747-200B. Both aircraft have been continuously upgraded and feature modern features such as the CF6-80C2 engine and a glass cockpit. The Ilyushin Il-96 300 Pu is a Soviet relic based on the Il-96 airliner, which was was introduced in the late 80s and featured numerous improvements. However, its life was short, and the Russian government and military remain the most avid operators of this model. Both aircraft are four-engine wide-body planes, often the largest in airports. The Russian aircraft has a slightly larger wingspan, while the American one is significantly longer. The 747 is heavier, with a maximum takeoff weight, MTEW, of almost 60 tons and engines producing almost 60% more thrust. This results in the VC-25 being much roomier and able to carry more equipment, amenities, and personnel. Other specifications of both aircraft are mostly speculation, but they are likely to have similar cruise speed and service ceilings. The Russian aircraft has a larger range than the VC-25, but it has a provision for aerial refueling, which can extend its range multiple times over. Both the VC-25 and IL-96 300 PU aircraft are designed to serve as mobile command posts for their respective presidents. They have heavy shielding, electronic warfare suites, and flare and chaff dispensers to lure away incoming missiles. The VC-25 has twice more wiring than a regular 747-200, while the IL-96 300 PU has a much larger wire length. The routine operation of presidential aircraft relies on their other capabilities. Putin's plane contains a gym, a bedroom with a king-sized bed, a 10-square-meter office, and a conference room with 9 seats. The VC-25 has a gym as well, but its office space is considerably bigger, with a meeting room, a dining room, and a communications room larger than Putin's conference room. The rest of the American aircraft is dedicated to staff quarters and offices. The Russian aircraft is more luxurious, with a golden gems adorned interior designed by Russian artist Ivan Glazunov. However, the Russian aircraft lacks luxury, as it only packs pre-made meals to be reheated by flight attendants. Putin has reported dissatisfaction with the quality and variety of meals served on his airplane, stating that he is being forced to eat the same food again. Now, it's time to conclude this video. I hope our insight into the luxury aircrafts of Biden and Putin comparison made you wonder about aircrafts. The advent of human flight not only boosted our power of movement, but also enhanced our vision. We gained the ability to see the Earth from above. Before the Wright's epical breakthrough, there had been perhaps thousands of human flights, mostly in balloons, but it was the advent of the airplane, a whole new way of seeing and experiencing our planet with speed and control that led to euphoric reactions across the world. The airplane and airline industry have significantly impacted the world, making travel accessible to everyone. In the United States, the airplane brought the country together and became a preferred travel method. Modern life has seen the speed of mail delivery and the integration of radios in airplanes for safety and convenience. If you liked our video, please leave a comment letting us know what you liked and why. And be sure to subscribe to our channel to show your support and not miss any upcoming content. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Until then, dream big and shoot for the stars.